ChatGPT is a text-based conversational AI based on currently GPT-4 Turbo. It is probably the most famous one out there, the most used one, and is the one that's setting the standard. You can use it for coding, web browsing, and you can upload and generate images. It's really good at writing sales copy, summaries, answering questions, coding, and anything that requires day-to-day conversational tones. On the downside though, it has no live internet access to any live data, can hallucinate, and really fast sound really generic with bad prompting. If you want to use it in a business context, it is great for customer support, emails, anything that requires communication with other people, FAQs, planning, brainstorming, productivity, all those sort of things. As well, if you want to build with it AI agents, AI chatbots, automations, whatever, I recommend using ChatGPT as it is the best conversational one. Grok is the AI developed by Elon Musk and XAI to be a competitor to ChatGPT. It as well is a conversational AI. It is primarily integrated into Twitter. You can as well use it in your web browser or as an app. Some features are exclusive to premium subscribers, but the conversational AI you can use just in the web chat as well. And even though it was built by Elon Musk, it doesn't share his ideologies and in some cases even rebels against him. It is really good at real-time answers from Twitter or X. It understands current events and trends and is really good at coding and any tutorials for any softwares. For example, I oftentimes use it for click-by-click tutorials for N8N. The downside is that it has a really limited use outside of the platform. If you want to use it in a business context, it is really good for tutorials with softwares, for coding, for live tracking any data, and trend spotting. Llama is one of the models developed by Meta. It is an open source language model. It can be fine-tuned for a private company to use and is very, very flexible. It is really good for hosting your own AI with your own data and full data control, and primarily works for legal or privacy-focused companies. The downside is that if you want to do that, it requires a full technical team to run, manage, and fine-tune it. So if you want to use it in a business context, it is really good for custom enterprise AI solutions like chatbots or automations inside of your company and private document analysis. Gemini is a multi-modal AI, meaning it can do image, text, video, and code. It is deeply integrated into the Google Workspace, Docs, and Gmail, etc. It is really good at working across all of these media types, especially inside of the Google ecosystem. On the downside, oftentimes it doesn't quite get what you want to do from him and might do things wrong. As well, hallucination is a big thing. If you want to use it in a business context, it is good for research, writing, planning out meetings, content planning, and an internal documentation. Leonardo AI is an AI image generator for creative work. It is really easy to use, especially popular for product design or user interfaces. It is really good at making fast and detailed visuals, mockups, branding assets, those sort of things. But on the downside, it is not great for realistic image creation, so it always has this digital art look. So if you want to use it in a business context, it is really good for social media posts, ad creatives, and product illustrations, or just elements of user interfaces. DeepSeek is the open source model from China, as well built to be a ChatGPT competitor. It is known for strong performances and reasoning, but especially it is really, really cheap in use. It's good at coding, technical answers, and more academic style responses. The downside is that it is more developer focused and as well victim to Chinese propaganda, so the informations you can get with it aren't always really reliable. Plus, we don't know what happens to the data that you put in. So if you want to use it in a business context, it is great for internal development tools or coding copilots. Perplexity AI is an AI research engine that as well has access to all of the other models, like ChatGPT and so on. It pulls live data and gives sources and links for everything it says, which makes it extremely good at research, fast summaries, and source-based answers. So if you want to get the news, then Perplexity is your tool. Though it is bad at conversational tones, so storytelling, longer text formats aren't really satisfying if done with Perplexity. So if you want to use it in a business, it is extremely good for fast market research and real-time tracking any news or data. Claude by Anthropic is a really safe large language model. It can read and respond to over 100,000 words at once. It is good at conversational tones, reading, understanding, and working with really, really large documents, as well legal or technical stuff. The bad side is that it often avoids giving strong opinions on stuff and doesn't feel really empathetic or human when you use it. If you want to use it in a business context, it is awesome for analyzing large amounts of data. Long reports, policy docs, all that really long and complex and meaty stuff. Midjourney is like Leonardo an AI image generator, but the realism is unmatched. It primarily runs on Discord. They have a web version as well though. It is primarily focused on art and fantasy visuals, but the realism, as said, is like no other. It's awesome at creating unique artistic visuals in a real or surreal or any other imagined way. As an image creation tool, there is no bad thing to say about it. If you want to create images in any way, you want to have them really detailed, really high quality, really realistic for product illustrations or any other, Midjourney is hands down the best tool you can use. And that in a business context as well, right? Product illustrations, thumbnails, social media posts, this is your tool to go. It costs money, it is only available on Discord primarily, but it is the best tool for image creation. Adobe Firefly as well is an image creation tool by Adobe. It is 100% commercially safe as it is only trained on the images within Adobe. It integrates with Photoshops and other illustrators, and it can do really awesome text effects as well. On the downside, because it is only trained on the images inside Adobe, the images that come out are neither realistic nor any good at quality. So for generating images that primarily have text, awesome. For any other, Midjourney is the better. Meta AI is basically based on Llama. It integrates within the whole metaverse, so WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook. It is mostly open source and really good at text, sound, and visual products across formats. Though the bad side is it has no really central product. There is no real soul behind it, and it is really scattered across these different platforms. And if you ask me, mostly annoying. Mistral AI is an open source model from France. It is European, so it acts within the EU laws. It is really light, really fast, really cheap, and runs offline as well. Therefore, it is really good for speed and privacy, and it is a good balance between performance and cost. Because Mistral is victim to the EU laws and not as big a company as Anthropic or OpenAI, the development of it isn't quite as good as these big players, but it definitely has its right to exist. So in a business context, it is for really lightweight chatbots or cost-efficient APIs. Quillbot is a model for rewriting texts. It is primarily focused on students and business professionals. It can rewrite text in different styles and is a model that is even trained, that is learning from your style of conversation and can adapt it to write your messages in your style. So you can use it for rewriting or generating text, but it isn't really smart. It doesn't have any information or any real research or data. So you can't use it for research, mostly for just writing and rewriting. So in a business context, you can use it to write emails, write text messages, rewrite documents, rewrite blog articles, or any other thing that has to do with text and conversational text. Notion AI is Notion's AI model. It is built into the Notion workspace. It helps with writing, summarizing, and translating all on the inside of Notion. It is good at fast summaries, note-taking, and meeting preparations, but it is only limited to Notion and not powerful for deep research or any other thing that is based on actual facts. So if you want to use it in your business, if you use Notion, this is a good add-on to use, taking smart notes, managing team knowledge bases, but it can't do any further and it can't execute outside of Notion. Elevenlabs is the best AI voice model out there for generating voice, cloning voice, and text-to-speech. It has the highest amount and most realistic voices of any tools out there. It has really fast APIs and works in multiple languages. The downside is that depending on what voices you want to clone, it can be legally challenging in some cases, and most of the users are only available to pro users, and it is, well, it could be called expensive. So in a business context, you can use this for voiceovers, automated calling. You can use the APIs to build any AIs or AI agents like phone agents or any other that require voice. If you want to create ads and you need a voice for that, but you don't want to use your own necessarily, that is awesome here. So anything that has to do with any form of voice, Elevenlabs is the tool to go.